Next up is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I have it written here that, to me, the Bucs are a bottom 5 team in the league in terms of roster, in terms of starting quarterback. I think this is Baker's last chance to start in the NFL. There's some good weapons, right? Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Sure. They're working on trying to rework his contract, but there's issues on both sides right now. Like, he has put up 1,000 yards every season that he's been. Maybe he didn't do it his rookie year, but 8 years now, 8 years in a row, 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Don't be trying to rework his contract. He doesn't want that, but obviously the Bucs are, trying to rebuild, basically. Offensive line, huge concern, Mike. They lost, I believe, their center, Ryan Jensen, done for the year. They also had an injury at guard during the preseason, so it's like there's a lot of concerns there with the Bucs. In terms of Minnesota, I think Justin Jefferson's going to prove to be a huge factor in this game.
He's definitely up there for the number one.
A lot of people have him ranked number one.
The entire league,
they do.
if not the entire league.
And not to mention, they added Jordan Addison, rookie wide receiver, and then they just paid T.J. Hawkinson. What do you think about that? Number one paid tight end in the league. I thought it was crazy to see that Kelsey's like 4th.
I didn't really catch much of Hawkinson last year, to be honest. But
number one paid tight end. Just think about that.
Paid is. I hope he does it well because
he's good, but I don't know that he's the number one tight end in the league to be paid that way. I think that's Travis Kelce.
That's Kelce, but he's not getting paid because they got no cap space.
But obviously, you have to look out for the young guys. Hawkinson is a younger guy, and then I also wrote for the Vikings, Mike. Just how long is Kirk going to stay at this level? Because I think Kirk Cousins is very good, but I don't think he's above that. So I think his fall might be coming faster than people realize.
He's good, but he can be very fringe good.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
You like that?
But if we see the comeback king we saw last year.
It's possible.
If we see that guy, that Kurt, all year, they're gonna be a contender for the Super Bowl.
I don't think you see that Kirk all year, any year.
Right, which is why he's moved around, unfortunately.
I don't think so. The only reason he ever moved around was because Washington franchise tagged him 3 years in a row, and then he ended up in Minnesota, and he's been in Minnesota ever since.
Fair point.
What do you have for this game?
I got Minnesota all the way. I don't think.
Do you have any notes you want to add to this?
I don't. You stole all my notes. Actually,
we did different notes for this game, so that's why I'm asking you.
Not really. Actually, I was gonna mention the new weapon, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson.
Getting back into this here, Mike, Bucs and Vikings. We were just going into your prediction here for who was winning this game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Minnesota Vikings, of course, at Minnesota.
At Minnesota, I again am going with the home team. I don't think Baker has it. I want to root for him.
I did too. I rooted for him when he went to Carolina.
I still want to root for him, man. He's a little dude, man, and just like me, man. I just want him. I want him to make it,
succeed,
but I want to see him succeed. But I don't think it's going to happen, and soon I see him sitting next to Kaepernick trying to get back into the league.
You like talking about Kaepernick. I don't know why.
Because
there's
think
other players you can compare him to.
The media has ingrained him into my brain every year before camp starts.
I used to call him Crappernick.
We used to call him Sacker Pick, because especially at the end of his year. That's why he's not in the league.
So,
but anyways,
this trend continues. I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings. Again, there are going to be some games here where me and Mike disagree. It just hasn't happened quite yet. I didn't expect it to, honestly, in these first couple of games. I think it's pretty easy to pick a clear winner and loser. And yeah, the NFL's hard. I get it. Anything can happen. Baltimore can drop a dud against Houston. Who knows? Maybe C.J. Stroud looks like Tom Brady, right? But I just don't know that I see that yet. This next game, Mike, is the first coin flip, in my opinion. This being another divisional matchup, this time between the Carolina Panthers and Atlanta Falcons. Let's let you start off with this.
So I think this one is going to be a complete you're probably going to see me asleep on the chair watching this one. I don't think either offense is absolutely crazy powerful. They are both in the lower end of the NFL at this point.
Divisional matchup, though.
Divisional matchup, so hopefully they make it exciting in some capacity.
Yeah.
The good things are it's Bryce Young's debut. Right? Everybody's waiting to see that.
Number 1 overall pick.
So that's going to be exciting to see him here. Bijan Robinson on the other side.
Look at you, bro. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you.
You know, I'm ready. I told you, I'm ready for the season.
I'm proud of you,
the
man.
First couple things.
Good for you.
Couple ones.
Because you're hitting on a lot of the things that I have here. I also have for the Panthers, though, you mentioned, they're not star-studded offenses, but they did add some pieces. Adam Thielen at wide receiver, along with DJ Chark, added running back Miles Sanders from Philadelphia. But you mentioned the defensive struggles. They finished 22nd in yards against last year, which, of course, not great. I think the Falcons are a huge question mark. I think Bijan Robinson is the real deal. I think he might, be a humongous candidate for the Offensive Rookie of the Year. But what is Desmond Ridder? I've heard a lot of hype, a lot of potential there. So I'm not ready to say Ridder's not the guy. I'm not ready to say, that the Falcons are going to be bad. It is the NFC we're talking about, Mike. We know what the NFC is capable of.
Yep.
Almost nothing. So I think this is going to be an interesting game, to say the least. And I want to see where you're going to go with this. Who are you taking between the Carolina Panthers and Atlanta Falcons?
I am, again, saying low-scoring game. So I'm taking Atlanta by a hair.
Okay. I'm going to go Carolina. 2 reasons. One, I want to change things up here a little bit. And I think this is a coin flip game. I think, whichever team shows up, maybe it's a special teams play. Maybe it's a missed field goal. There's going to be a mistake. Okay, wait. There's going to be a lot of mistakes made between these teams, but you got to see who's going to hit overall. Maybe it's a tie. Maybe they tie. Can we predict that?
I was literally going to say, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if this ended in like a 17-17 tie. I really wouldn't.
It's a little high of a score, man. I would do like a 3-3 or something.
3-3. Oh, my goodness. Please, no. I've been to those Bills games like that. I literally fell asleep in the Jim Kelly Club during a game like that.
Moving on to, I want to say possibly another boring game, but it does have a team that I like to root for in this one. This being the Arizona Cardinals at Washington Commanders game here. Now, I want to say, first of all, Mike, do you believe in tanking?
Do I believe in it?
Do you think it happens? Do you think it happens?
I was just going to ask you to clarify. Do I think it? Okay. Do I believe in it? Do I think it happens? God, that's such a hard question to ask because I don't know. Do I think if I think of all of the controversies that have happened in the league, Sean Payton and his Hurt Fest, whatever they called it. I'm calling it Hurt Fest.
Bounty Gate.
I'm calling it Hurt Fest. Spygate.
Deflategate.
Would I put it past somebody's integrity? No. Do I think that?
So I want to clarify exactly what I mean when I say tanking. I don't mean players not trying. I don't mean people intentionally losing games.
Okay.
But I mean a GM and a coach putting their team in a situation where they know that they're not going to be competitive.
I think that depends. I think it depends, and I know it's asked of people. I think that was proven with
Brian Flores.
Brian Flores.
I almost blanked on his name.
I almost blanked on it.
He's with Pittsburgh, linebackers coach,
which is awesome. I'm glad to see him. He deserves a head coaching job.
He does.
He was a good coach.
He does. But the reason I asked this, Mike, is because the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
That's what they're doing. I'll let you get to the notes here on your tablet. But They're tanking, man. They are. That's just simply how it goes. They're starting Joshua Dobbs. Now, I don't want to say Joshua Dobbs is bad, but Joshua Dobbs coming off of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was the third quarterback in that room. He was signed, I think, 2 weeks ago to the day. The backup is Clayton Tune, who is a rookie, I believe, 4th round pick maybe?
Right.
Traded away DeAndre Hopkins, and the defense to me is absolutely awful, except for Budda Baker, who I'm surprised he reported.
Why are they starting Dobbs? What's his name hurt again?
Kyler is still recovering from the torn ACL from last year.
That's right.
But he was named a captain on his team. Pretty interesting.
So,
I'll let you take over for the Commanders.
Let's see. The Commanders, new QB1 you got down here, right?
Yep.
All right, Sam Howell. I don't even remember the draft, so I don't remember much about him.
He's not a rookie.
He's not a rookie?
Nope. He was selected last year.
Okay.
And he ended up playing, I believe, the final week of the season and leading the Commanders to a win. Okay. And after the game, head coach Ron Rivera was quoted as saying something along the lines of, I didn't know he could do this. And that's why he's now the starter.
Okay.
Beat out Taylor Heineke for the job. And you know I love me some Scary Terry. My favorite non-Bill in the league, Terry McLaurin. He's amazing. To me, he is everything that DeAndre Hopkins was when he was on the Houston Texans. I know back then I didn't get you into the NFL as a whole yet, but this is when DeAndre Hopkins was catching passes from quarterbacks like you and me because they just didn't have anybody. It wasn't these big name guys. So that's what Scary Terry reminds me of. But I'm taking the Commanders. I think this is another easy one for me. Could the Cardinals compete? Yeah, maybe, but with that big of a question mark at quarterback, I can't pick you to win.
Yeah, fair enough. I've lost all faith in the Commanders over any of the past decades too. So with the rest of the fan base, so I'm not taking the Commanders in that game.
You're not taking the Commanders?
I just...
You're not taking the Cardinals. Is that what you meant?
No, I've lost. I don't know what... I get that Dobbs is starting.
Yeah.
And Kyler wouldn't do much better. I don't think Kyler's a very good quarterback.
Okay. He's a small guy, though. What do you mean? Thought you loved the small guys.
I do, but he's still not a good quarterback. He's not better than Baker. He's not much better than Baker.
Oh, my goodness.
No, I'm kidding.
You're going to cause a stir.
I'm kidding. No, but he's not that good.
Number 1 overall picks.
He's not that good. I don't see it. I just don't see him. And maybe there was a reason why they had that clause in his contract in the first place. I know it was removed, but there's obviously a reason.
So you're taking the Arizona Cardinals in this game?
I'm just gonna shoot for the stars. I'm gonna take Arizona.
Interesting. Stupid.
It's probably stupid, but I'm gonna say they squeak one out and surprise everybody.
One more note here I have on the Commanders that we forgot to mention. The front seven is crazy, Mike. It's crazy. They got who was the defensive tackle? Deron Payne, who they just paid a 5-year massive contract for, and then Chase Young, who was selected with the number 2 overall pick, has not been healthy enough to really be a performer. I think his contract's up due here at the end of the year. Okay. There was talks about him being traded in the preseason, and there was talks about him moving, but didn't end up happening, so we're going to have to see exactly what he does for the Commanders.